Hi, Ruth. Ruth is aunt of a very good friend, Shira. Ruth is a Holocaust survivor, and today she's giving us some time to send good news and learning experience about what a tragedy means and how we can see it. Ruth, who are you and what you want everybody to know about you and your experience?
Well, I was born that's how you want it?
Yes.
I was born in Slovakia to well-to-do parents. I had a sister and a brother, younger than me. As a little girl, I was sick. I was sent to Switzerland, and I came back more or less well. And you want to know mostly about the Holocaust, don't you?
What you want people to know about your experience?
As you know, it started in Germany, but we were too young to understand exactly what's happening in Germany, which Germany was our neighbor geographically.
Yeah.
Till it arrived to our borders. It arrived at our borders when the Nazis occupied Austria. Vienna was an hour, a distance of an hour from my hometown, Bratislava.
Okay.
That was in 1938. How should I? Well, it didn't start exactly at that time. In 1939, the Nazis, the German army got into Czechoslovakia. As you know, in September 1938, the war started. Slovakia was transformed into a small state under the baton of Hitler. It had a president, but it did exactly what the Nazis did. And they started right away to persecute the Jews. We had to wear the yellow star. My father's factory was taken away from him, but they didn't manage, so they left my father and my uncles working. There were transports. People were being taken to the concentration camps. I didn't tell you about how they took away everything from us. People were being taken away, but we were still protected till 1944, when the Slovaks were. There was a little uprising, not a little, a big uprising towards the end of the war, and then every Jew who was still there and protected was taken away. Was caught. People were caught. There were many people in hiding, and I was in hiding too. But they found me. At night, they took me out of the place where I was hiding, and next morning into a cattle train, 80 people in a train, and we didn't know where we were going. We thought maybe Auschwitz. That was a very bad idea, but it wasn't to Auschwitz. It was to a camp in Germany called Ravensbrück. It was a women's camp, the biggest women's camp in Germany, and it was the biggest women's camp from all. And there we were taken off the trains. Everything was taken from us. The baggage we had, and we were taken to little houses. There were two sides of this barrack. every side with 2 big rooms, and we had we didn't have beds. We had.
Ruth, I would like to ask you about.
Yes?
I would like to ask you about fear. What is fear, and how the fear can be overcome, related with the experience that you already got?
We didn't know, of course, what will happen to us. Nobody knew what is awaiting us. We were. It wasn't a work camp. It was a women's camp, and we didn't know what will happen to us. We didn't have to work. We got a minimum of food daily, but really a minimum, and we were waiting for the end of the war because we knew it was the end. It was already the end, but we didn't know if we will see the end of the war. We didn't know where our family members were. Everybody was in another place. Later we knew where they were.
But Ruth, based on all what you have lived, what would be, how you would define the fear? What is the fear for you?
The fear was even before. The fear was with us before the transports, because we were always afraid that we will be taken with a transport and to Auschwitz. Of that we were afraid. But Auschwitz at the time was already closed when I was taken, when our train was leaving. So we were in another camp, in a camp called Ravensbrück in Germany.
What were you afraid of when you were in Ravensbrück?
Afraid of our lives, of course.
And Ruth, based on all what you have been saying and this experience and the rest of your life, how would you say that after living tragedy in life, people can find happiness? How can be done the happiness?
You mean freedom was happiness? Yes. That's what we are waiting for freedom too. But we didn't know if we would live to see it, and we didn't know where our families were. We didn't know anything that was happening. Of course, there were no newspapers, so no radio. We didn't know what is happening exactly. We were living in a kind of vacuum, and we had to do whatever the Nazis asked for us. It was SS in the camps. We were counted twice a day, in the morning and at midday, and if the numbers were not okay, we were counted again and again. We were standing outside in the freezing winter weather for hours till the count was okay. There were always dead people whom they didn't find, and so the numbers were not always fitting. What else would you like to know?
No, Ruth. After that, all this year, you're 95 years old. 96. You are 96 years old. Can we be happy after going through this sort of tragedy? Can we be happy?
After being so old, you have already lived not one life, but 2 or 3 or 4 lives. I'm already in another place now. We have lost family, and we lost our previous life before all this happened. We had to start again. My father didn't come back. We were lucky, the 3 of us, my sister, my brother, and me, that we met with our mother, who couldn't stand on her feet. She was so weak. But all of us started again. There was no choice. What could we do? One doesn't sit and cry.
Ruth, what would be the secret to continue living? How you can go and go again?
It's like being in water that takes you along. Life takes you. It doesn't stop. When you are alive, things happen. You can't stand aside from your own person. My mother and I, and the three of us, all started again. My mother started to work, which she never did before. I mean, she was a housewife, and we were very good, well-to-do people before. Now we didn't have anything. We had really to start at the beginning, and we started to make plans for the future. That's life.
And Ruth, you had in the last few years, unfortunately, lost more people in our family. And you told me that, of course, you are missing them and mourning them and sad that they're not here, but you keep going. Can you say more about how you keep going?
It takes you along. Life takes you along. It doesn't stop. And you want to arrive somewhere. Of course, you don't want to stay in the same place, not to stay and cry.
You told me when I visited you last month, you said, I don't walk with my nose in the ground.
No, of course not. If I did that, nobody would speak to me.
Ruth,
No.
I am curious, sorry, but what would you tell me for those days when I am in bed and I don't have energy to wake up and fight? How can I get this energy? When I see everything dark, how can I just keep going?
First of all, I was young at that time. I was 19 years old. I was still young, and I had the energy. And we wanted to live. Nobody wanted to die. We wanted to stay alive, and we did all we could to stay alive. I was also helped in the camp by very nice people, mostly Czech people, who helped me. And in the end, they took off the Jewish sign on my sleeve. When all the Jews were taken away, I stayed with them as a Czech. That's how I stayed alive.
Ruth, can we be optimistic about humanity? Can we be optimistic about humanity?
Can we be optimistic about האנושות, על האנושות? אפשר להיות אופטימיסטים לגבי האנושות?
You mean now?
Yes.
Yes.
I think what happened can happen again, because it happened. Things like this, I think things like this or similar things are happening in the world. We are not there for the moment, but nobody can be sure it will not happen again. And hate is a very powerful. The Jews were hated all around the world, so nobody can be sure. Not only Jews, of course.
Ruth, please, sorry if my question is a little hard. Tell me about the power or not, about the power of forgiveness.
About forgiveness?
Yes.
You can't walk through life with hating people. You can't do that. That's not a life. And I don't think other people did it. Maybe there were some. I think after we started again, we started to be optimistic again and to love life. We were young. My mother, of course, was much older. She had to start again. She was in a very bad state at the beginning. But there it was. My father wasn't here.
Cheers.
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 Cheers to life, l'chaim.
In your name.
L'chaim in Hebrew means to life.
It would have been easier if you would have wanted me to write it down. for all of us, I think. I'm still optimistic now at 96.
Great. Ruth, it's so nice to talk to you. We could spend a long time. I would like to be there and give you a hug. It's really nice, this experience. I want to dream with you. I want to ask you if you would have now the chance to make a trip around over the time. You will be able to travel, to which time would you like to go? Either the future, the past, wherever you want to go, the present. To which place would you like to go? What would you like to do and why?
I of course would like to be here where I am, and I have a nice family. I have grandchildren and great-grandchildren, and that's life.
Cheers, Ruth.
We just want to toast.
Thank you, Ruth. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Ruth.
Thank you. Thank you for your work.
Would you like to tell us about your family?
I don't have a husband anymore, and also my children died, my 2 sons. But I have 5 grandchildren and 6 great-grandchildren. And what else can I ask? I have a little cold, I'm sorry. What else can I, at my age, what else can I ask? I'm in a safe place, well cared for. Maybe I can't say I'm happy at this age and without part of my family, but I'm contented. I have all I need.
God bless you.
God bless you.
Thank you.
Yes.
Ruth,
I hope sometime I will get to 96 years. I don't know if I'll be there, but if I go, I would like to have the head that you have. God bless you.
96 is more than one lifetime,
Ruth, before we finish, I would like to ask you, if you could send a message for everybody around the world, what would you say?
I would say that people should stop hating one another.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Ruth.